Good evening, everybody. Just waiting for people to join in. I'm going to give a little bit here to see who wants to tune into Stony Raw tonight. It's going to be a good segment about Stoney's girlfriends. So we'll give it a few minutes, see who joins in, um, and I'll give you a little bit more detail. Hopefully, this music's not too loud. No, it turned on automatically. All right, so another segment of Stony Raw. For you guys that have tuned in for the first time, this is basically my video autobiography, going through my life starting at a young age. And right now we are about the age of 12 years old or so. It's middle school, or not middle school, grade school. So somewhere between third grade and sixth grade, we'll call it, is what this segment's going to be about. So it's not about girlfriends in my older life. It's about girlfriends in my younger life. So, between, I'll even go back a little bit further, but the segment is about the girlfriends in my life. So I remember probably my very, very first girlfriend that I could remember. Wasn't even a girlfriend for me. She was my babysitter. Yep. I think it was like 3 or 4 years old. And I remember the babysitter, and I always call her my girlfriend. But I forgot what her name was, so I knew it wasn't going to last. But my next kind of girlfriend was, when I was younger. Comfortable here. When I was younger, even probably 4 or 5 years old, little girl, I think her name was Cindy Lopez. Cindy Lopez was one of my first girlfriends, as probably my age. And Cindy Lopez was a little Mexican girl that lived next door to my grandma. So every time I go to my grandma's house, I would see, little Cindy Lopez. And, throughout my childhood, we would live with my grandma from time to time. And so I would be able to get to spend more time with Cindy. But there's stories that, I vaguely remember these stories, but my mom loves to tell the stories of me and Cindy sitting behind my grandma's couch and Cindy telling me how she's going to get married to me, and we're going to have a baby, and the baby's going to be named Simon, and I'm going to buy her some shoes. And at a young age, I had girlfriends. So, little Cindy Lopez was a girlfriend. And then, that's the one I kind of remember first. And then, a lot of changes, a lot of moving around. We moved to Sunnyvale. So a lot of the next segment of the series is about my time in Sunnyvale. So in grade school, and I moved to Sunnyvale. Now I'm at a new school, and I got my BFM living right next door, and I'm going to school together. And so a lot of times we had the same girlfriend at different times. But to kind of give you just a rundown of some of the names that I remember, that at least up and through sixth grade, was, let me see, and some of these people that are going to laugh that are on here, or I remember Jennifer Freeman, Jennifer Burke, Lynn Perrineau, Chris Flores, Tanya Denise, if I didn't say that already. Just a few of the names that kind of popped in my head. Oh, another one, Joanne Porvo was in there. A little bit of story about that. But a lot of girlfriends through grade school, and you kind of wonder, well, at that age, what does girlfriend really mean? Well, I would think not much. I don't think any of us were having sex at that age. It was, more kissing. It was your first kiss. What was going on there? But the one that, a couple things with these little girls in my life, and there's a point to this as you go through these series later. This will all probably make sense. At least as I've run this through my head, it makes sense to me, and part of my story. But the one that, a couple girls in that age group that really made a big impact on me, and I think it was sixth grade. I was actually in the drama club in sixth grade. Yes, I did do some acting, but drama club, and we did a couple plays. I remember Wizard of Oz was one of them, and I think I was lucky enough to play a monkey. And then the next one was Tom Sawyer, and played in that play. And this is where I became really close with Lynn. about that time in the play. And then I was also, kind of had a crush on Joanne Porvo, who lived down the street. So I still remember to this day where I asked Joanne if she would be my girlfriend, and Joanne wasn't in sixth grade. I think she was in seventh or eighth. She was actually a grade up, I believe, and then she would come in and help with the plays. But I asked Joanne out, and she said yes, and the very next day she broke up. I was crushed. I was just like, oh my God, she broke up. It was terrible. It was like the worst thing in the world happened to me, and that was with a girl down the street, and that still sticks in my head. She is on Facebook. She might even see this, but yeah, she broke my heart. She's one of the big heartbreakers. And then after that was Lynn. Lynn and I became very, very good friends. Probably fifth, sixth grade I think she was in fifth or sixth when she moved into the neighborhood, and I got to know Lynn. And Lynn and I's relationship, even through sixth grade, after sixth grade into adulthood, was a love-hate kind of relationship. We found that when we were together as boyfriend and girlfriend, we didn't do a very good job at that, even at a young age. Both of us had grown up pretty quickly, and we're probably a little older mentally than we were for our age. But Lynn and I, did better when we weren't together. And when we weren't together, we were the bestest of friends, and that went on for a long time. We stayed, together on and off, boyfriend and girlfriend. And the funny story is, there's a movie, I forgot the name of the movie, but there's John Cusack in the movie, and his sister was playing the other role. I think she's in the back seat in this movie, and they were talking about having kids and naming their kids, and I think the girl said she wanted to name the kid Elliot. Nick's like, I don't want to name that kid Elliot. That's a stupid name. You need a name like Nick. And Nick's a cool name. Nick's someone you can go to the bar with, hang out with. Nick's your buddy. Nick's your pal. And so when I had my first child later in life, I named him Nicholas because of that scene. Lynn and I didn't talk for a long time. We kind of went our separate ways. But when we connected again later in life, it was, oh, I have a child named Nick. I'm like, really? Well, why'd you name him Nick? She says, you know that John Cusack movie? So we always had this connection, and she named her first son Nick. I named my first son Nick, and that's just a little story there that I remember as a child. So Lynn's on Facebook. We don't talk much, just like most of us don't talk much. It's always my Facebook friend. But there's still a special place there. She's, was a great person, raised some great kids. And it's funny, and some of these people that are on here or have bounced on and bounced off, said, well, what are you going to talk about? Some of the old girlfriends from that age I still have on Facebook, are asking, what do I want to talk about? And it's kind of interesting. It's funny as I was like, damn, I'm getting old, especially when one of them tells you that she's at her granddaughter's recital. She'll try to tune in. So you're getting old when you're talking about girlfriends from grade school that are at their granddaughter's recital. And I never thought I'd be sitting here going, dang, I could be a grandpa right now, even though I'd like to be a grandpa, but my kids are saying, no, we're not doing that. So Lynn played a really big part of my life. And there was Chris Kiefer. We went out for a while in that time period, I think, or that might have been later in life. I think that could have been in the 7th, 8th grade. Tanya and Denise were interesting. Those girls, I think at one point Trina was dating one, I was dating the other, which was great because we lived next door. So we always tried to do things with them and go places with Tanya, Denise, and they seemed to always end up breaking up with us, and I would be dating Denise and he'd be dating Tanya, and then we just kind of switch, and that happened for a while as kids. We would switch who was dating who. So we're always kind of had, for a while there, each other's girlfriends at different times. But Jennifer Burke was another one that, Lynn and Jennifer were pretty good friends, and that was another one. I would be with Lynn, then I'd be with Jennifer, then I'd be with Lynn, then I'd be with Jennifer. Jennifer Freeman was another sixth grade girlfriend that I went out with. And it's funny is in this time period, all the girls up until sixth grade have all been white girls. Lynn, Jennifer. Oh wait, Tanya and Denise were not. They were Mexican girls. Chris, Jennifer Berg, they're all white girls. And then we'll end up marrying a half Japanese lady. Don't know there. So girlfriends, had them at a very young age. All of this will make sense later and we get older. But always had a thing with being around girls, and it was, I kind of joke now. I tell people that I'm a lesbian. I love women and I like to be with women. I like to be around women. But I still want to keep, everything that I was born with. So I don't want to be a woman. I just like being around women. I didn't get into sports a lot. I did play baseball. We'll have a segment on baseball. I wasn't very, sport coordinated as my stepbrother was. And, so that's about it on the girlfriends on this segment. And, we'll have some more segments. I may do another one tomorrow night if I do this as I'm planning. I don't know. We can talk camping trips. We could talk Christmas time. Maybe I'll go into my name being changed to Meager. That's probably a good one to bring us to light, is why my name changed to Meager. I think that's a good one. I'll do that. I like that. Name changed to Meager. So thanks for watching. You can watch reruns of this on YouTube. This will be downloaded, then uploaded to YouTube, so it's archived there, or just keep tuning in. I'm going to try to be consistent about 8 o'clock. It may not be every night, but I've got probably 70 or so of these little videos that I want to do. I want to keep them short enough so people will watch them, but long enough to kind of get a story and a segment out at a point in my life. And you guys have a wonderful night, and until next time.